Settles the puck down. Shot, score! Nathan McKinnon.
McKinnon just walked through and just fired a top shelf. A huge goal for the Avalanche.
And Henrique finds Perry behind the defense. He's in, and he scores! Perry made it look easy.
He just drills it. Blocker side, about a foot off the ice. Brilliant shot by Corey Perry.
We know that there are elite scorers in the National Hockey League, and we just watched a couple of them. They're especially dangerous, though, when they have time and space. Weeksy and Rupper will explain. KW.
Yes, absolutely. This is one thing that we saw in this last 2-3 game segment in the National Hockey League. Offensive players taking advantage of what the defensive players and teams are giving them. You give me time, I make you pay. You give me space, I make you pay. Let's go ahead and check out the video for more evidence of what we're breaking down. Rupper, Nate McKinnon in his office and doing it big last night.
Yes, I love it right here. That's on the power play, and you see him coming up. He slams the brakes on, gets the time and space. You see time and space right there for Pouliot cutting in the middle of the ice. Fantastic job. Take what they give you. You don't have to force anything. And then you saw with the St. Louis Blues as well, you saw Braden Shen coming in. He's continuing to be absolutely on fire. But the biggest thing for me, and watch this on Patrick Hornquist, and we'll get to this one in particular and the Corey Perry breakaway as well at the end of this. But the biggest thing for me is we talk about time and space. Look at that shot. Are you kidding me right now?
Rocky.
And we talk about time and space, but sometimes having that time makes the muddies up the water a little bit because you have, now it's a little unorthodox to have that time, and what are you going to do with it? Are you looking to make a perfect play, a pretty play, or are you just going to take simply what they give you? If they're going to give you a shot, take the darn shot. Use a screen. You can get to the game in the middle of the ice. So, Tony, if you can come up here, this would be considered, and it's a little different with the markings on the ice here, like this is a good gap. But by you having a good gap, it puts you on the line because having a good gap is great. It limits my options. But if I'm a Connor McDavid or a Patty Kane, one of these guys that can dipsy-doodle you might be exposed. So sometimes you see guys back off, a la Nathan McKinnon. And when you back off and say the gap, and we're not using the net necessarily here in the open ice, this now allows me to gain the middle, like Derek Pouliot on that one, or this will allow me to shoot through a screen. You have other options, but you got to do it quick. You've got to be, you got to play with conviction in your decision making and do it really quick. And I love it. The guys, they give it to you. I'll take that. You don't have to think twice, and they're really quick on the trigger and fire those shots. And you saw a high success rate in it.
We hear coaches talk about making the simple play. It seems like that's what he's saying about being decisive, being assertive from a D perspective, whether it's your defenseman or the forwards or you and net. What are you thinking?
Well, you have to make the reads, and this is exactly why the offensive team, especially when they have possession, they can dictate your decisions in a lot of ways. They can manipulate you in your own D zone because if that offensive player plays to his instinct and makes that play and makes it quickly, now for the defenders, now for the goalie, we have to make a decision under duress and maybe quicker than we want to, maybe be a little bit more uncomfortable. For a goalie, I might not be able to get to my optimal spot in terms of my feet and my positioning in the net. Maybe I have to be a little bit more conservative. I might not have time to get out and get set. For the defender, now, instead of you lunging forward and getting the time to maybe take a step forward, you might not have that time. Now you're back just a split second. Now you're here. Rupper now offensively says, okay, he's either going to cut to the middle on you the way Pouliot did last night and change angle, or he might just continue to use his big frame, Rupper coming down, keep coming, Rupper, keep coming, and back you off and still create a grade A scoring opportunity. But interestingly enough, Rupper, to your point, we saw two unique ones with Corey Perry.
Oh, those breakaways.
And Patrick Hornquist that you pointed out.
I saw that Patrick Hornquist one first, and I was really impressed because he shoots this puck pretty far out for a breakaway. You see guys shoot the puck. Yeah, that's nothing unusual, but he shot that early. So I don't know what he saw, but he caught the goaltender. In this case, he caught him off guard.
He did.
And then you see in the other one with Malcolm Subban, I don't know, and we'll kick this over to you for that part, if it's him getting to the top and challenging, Corey Perry taking a slap shot. Like, are you kidding me right now? I love the confidence right there. Winds up and lets her rip. And it seems like he caught Malcolm right as soon as he got out to his peak. And I love the surprise factor. Keep them on their toes. Keep the goaltenders honest. What do you see from a goalie standpoint?
No, you just nailed it. That's the thing. And the first one with Hornquist, if you're Hornquist and you get out there, Rupper, I got to tell you what, by the time you get set up, you're coming in, we got space. So we're going to back it up a little bit. Rupper, you get out there, we got no D because this is an uncontested breakaway on this one, Tone. So you're Hornquist, you were there. And as you just pointed out, Andre Pavlik is here. I'm not used to, and most goalies, more importantly, aren't used to a guy shooting from distance from there. And Hornquist kicks his leg up. He goes up on one leg over the fire hydrant, and he snapped that puck, right? Exactly. So then the other one's Corey Perry coming through there. Corey Perry taking a slap shot. Look at that windup. It's almost impossible for me to read where he's going from there on a breakaway. Very unconventional. Old school. Brian Rolston, B. Rolston, who we played with. Probably watching in Michigan right now. But Brian Rolston had a rocket, and he'd shoot on breakaway, sometimes even in shootout. But to your point, very unconventional. It's a different look and feel for the goalies.
It's very impressive for me to be able to participate in one of these and not put the puck out of play. Yes! I hope Dan Bilesma was watching. That was enlightening and insightful. And the puck stayed in play the whole time.